Canelo, to me, looked like an old man.
Because I still think he beats most of the rest of the super middleweights.
Crawford's perfect opponent is Canelo.
Canelo is one of the best boxers of this age. Crawford's just better.
But Terence Crawford should have been a megastar when he was 28, 29, 30.
Yeah. Question, if you're Crawford now, do you just walk away? Because there's no point for him having any... Or does he try and now get where he gets paid 100 million plus and has a fight?
I think it's either you both retire or it's a rematch.
Welcome back to BoxCast. In this episode, we're going to be looking back at the weekend's boxing, starting with the undisputed fight for super middleweight between Canelo and Crawford. And then it's a pretty big undercard of there. And we're also watching along the Inoue versus Akhmadaliev fight as well. So we'll mention bits of that as well as we go along. Depending on what time that starts. So we'll start with shock results, would you say, Simon? Not really. Not from me, then. Shall I go into our predictions? Because for once I'm right. You had Canelo with 9-round KO body shot, which, to be fair, wasn't that far from his tactics. He just didn't manage to get... Well, he did get... I think he set more than 70 body shots, didn't he? But... and I had Crawford for the points win. I think a lot of the boxers had Crawford, but most of the other people had Canelo and they're worried about the weight.
Yeah, I think if it was ever going to go to points, it was going to be Crawford that won it.
I think most people were that he is the better boxer.
Yeah.
And I think he showed that in the fight. But should we break it down? We'll do a breakdown and we'll go through the fight and then we can give our opinions, because I've seen some rubbish already on comments, which I want to bring up on other people's comments and under the fight and then dismissing like the result. So fight started fairly slow first round, I would say. I had that fairly even. I gave it to Canelo because he was on the front foot, but it basically was a 50-50 round. It could have been 10-10, given it. And then second round, Crawford just got busier, more work. He was just better with the jab. Canelo didn't really jab. He was just really power shots, body shots.
No, Canelo doesn't jab though, does he?
Yeah, he just loaded up shots. And then I think what they said is that he's, one of the things he does is because it's every shot's like a power shot.
It doesn't.
Even as feint, you've got to be wary because you don't know whether it's a feint or it's a power shot and you're going to get hurt.
The commentators, I did my head in. Wow. Get some better commentators. And the guy at the end, is it Max Keller? He can't interview him, sorry. Get a better interviewer.
He looked like his head was about to explode.
It's just like no, that was rubbish. The commentators and Max Keller. And the only one I respected was Andre Ward, because obviously...
Yeah.
But the other two, no.
I don't know who the other guy was, and I don't think it was...
No wonder boxing in America is dying with them commentators.
It was quite funny when they were going along because he's like, Andre Ward's giving them like the why one's doing it, and they're like looking at it like, what's going on? And then he's then you see it happen, and he's like, see, I told you so. I think he knows a little bit about boxing.
Unanimous scorecard, was it from Skipper? I think he'd like give every round to bloody Crawford, and I was like, mate.
Well, to be honest, I had it like 9-3 to Crawford. I gave the first round, but that was basically even, but I think Crawford was just, Canelo was just on the front foot. Second round, third round, fourth round, I think Crawford picked it up. Fourth round was a bit more, there's a bit of action as well from Canelo, but I think Crawford just had more. He was getting body shots, but he took them quite well. I mean, taking shots, I think we've got to say Canelo's chin. Oh my days.
The pair of them, I
think have got fabulous chins.
I think, I think
we knew about that Canelo because he fought Triple G.
I think one of the things the commentators did agree with, which, you could argue the fact that Canelo's most probably got one of the greatest chins in boxing ever.
Ever, all the time. I would agree with that comment.
But you'd have to put Crawford up there as well, because he took some heat. Solid shots.
Well, I seen some nonsense about he was running mate, you don't stand there in front of Canelo and take punches. Yes, he moved around, but he also stood toe to toe in bits, which we're going to get to. Well, 5th round, I think Canelo took over, and he had a bit of a renaissance where it looked like it might start turning. Now he's starting to have an effect.
Crawford did what I thought he was going to do to win, and he fought effectively on the back foot.
Yeah.
When he did stand and trade, I think it was 3 times during the whole fight. He stood and traded.
But he won most of the trades.
He soon backed off, though.
Well, yeah. But he didn't need to. He was ahead of most of the time. But they traded after like the 5th round was... Sorry for the noise. Canelo got into it. And then it looked like Canelo was going to turn it now because Crawford had a few rounds.
Yeah.
And then it looked like Canelo's now, it's starting to get to Crawford. 6th round, he switched it again and got it back. And then I think he's kept it most of the way. 8th round, I think Canelo got back into it again. 8th round, I gave to Canelo as well. I gave the 1st, the 5th, and the 8th, and then all the rest to Crawford. 9th he was winning quite a lot by Crawford, and I think then he got the headbutt, isn't it? But accidental, and to be fair, Canelo apologised. I thought then the fight was going to get ruined. I was like nearly devastated. I've been watching all the fights up to then, they were brilliant. But no, he just shook it off, went on. So it evened out a bit after that, but before I think he won that round. And then he just won all the others. I think he just frustrated Canelo.
Canelo, to me...
And then he did trade in the last few rounds.
Looked like an old man.
I think he was good, but I think he got...
he looked like an old man to me. He looked slow.
I think that's one of Canelo's best performances. So it's probably, if you ignore the last 3 or 4... But Plant. Because Plant was his last good one, wasn't it? But I missed one. Belanga, he basically coasted...
No, what I mean by saying he's old is he couldn't keep up with the punch output.
I just think Crawford's punch output was higher than well, yeah. We say that. There was the fight between Mbilli and Martinez, which we'll get onto later. The punch output was ridiculous.
No, Canelo...
But he's never been really high, has he? And Canelo, when he's lighter weight, he was.
He looked a bit slow. He looked a bit sluggish, ran out of ideas. Like I say,
I think Crawford made him look like...
I think Canelo's an old man now.
No. Because I still think he beats most of the rest of the super middleweights. I think it's just that Crawford is special.
Yeah, is that because most of the super middleweights aren't? There's a massive gulping class though now.
Well,
massive gulping class from them two to the rest.
Yeah,
there is a massive gulping class.
Well, I think this Crawford. Well, we're going to do later, and we'll do where Crawford is. But like, I think this Crawford is a level above Canelo in skill. I think Canelo's got the power, obviously, and the chin. So it's pretty. You can't get him if you don't get him. If you can't box like that, I don't think you beat him. Because if you look at all the people who beat him, what did Floyd do? Was basically that, outbox him, but stay away from it. And then he was obviously younger than, and lighter weight as well. Bivol, even though he's a light heavyweight, still stayed away from the power. And said, isn't it? Look, his arm was all bruised up. He's just because he was bigger and he had a bit of reach advantage. He's taken advantage of it. I think Triple G beat him in the first one, but obviously he didn't get that one. But Triple G is Triple G. And then he did defend it. I think it was a win, a draw, and a loss. It should have been 1-1-1.
I think...
But I think in boxing years, because that's one of the comparisons we did before, isn't it? Crawford's about 240 rounds and Canelo's like double, 580, 40, something silly.
He's an old man in boxing terms.
No, I agree. I think he's slower. I don't think this was his slowest fight. I think he is slow. I think he was slowed against Skull. Because I think if this version of Canelo had fought Skull, I think he would have caught up with him.
Yeah, but the thing is I'm not being funny.
Because Skull
was he even motivated for Skull though?
No,
I don't even think he did.
I think he was for this because, like, if we seen his physique his way in, it was like we said, isn't it?
He's going to have. He would.
I just think
the one thing with Canelo is he respects his opponents, and when he knows his opponents are good.
He gave a lot of respect. You got to be fair to him. Even in defeat, he was really magnanimous. I have a lot of... Well, we're fans of Canelo anyway, and I have a lot of respect for Canelo, and he's still a great fighter.
Yeah, Crawford was just...
It's just Crawford's a level above, I think.
And he looked fresher, looked smarter, quicker foot.
Well, did you see any ring rust? We were saying this, weren't we? Because we were worried that he's been out the ring about like a year or whatever.
Well, maybe that's
2 years.
He
looked fresher. He didn't look like he was ring rusted.
That's Crawford's secret. There's the fight to fight once a year and...
Well, I think in this one he's taking the time because I think he's gradually put on the weight. I don't think the weight was an issue for him.
He's been after this for 2 years.
Yeah. So, I think he's gradually put on the weight, got up the sizes, and not rushed it, and then still kept because he didn't gas out, which you would have thought with the size and the muscles you're going to do. Because obviously Canelo's used to doing it. Canelo looked more tired than he did. And his punch output, like you said, was higher. It was significantly higher than Canelo's. I mean, Canelo's is never great anyway, but Crawford's was similar to what he normally does at the lower weights. I think both of them do rise when they have a better opponent.
Yeah.
I think Madrimov he underestimated a bit, but if you see, this is like his Spence performance where he's on his A game and is just...
Well, no, you could argue that Crawford's perfect opponent is Canelo. Comes forward, doesn't move much.
I think that Canelo doesn't like opponents like Crawford.
Well, no, he doesn't.
Lara
hates him.
Mayweather, Crawford
hates them.
Who was the other guy who had
hates movers?
Had a good, yeah. He prefers the bigger lumbering guys, and then his tactics work because he's got the power and the chin to cope.
Yeah, that's why Canelo moved up the weight so quickly, and took out the likes of Kovalev and people like that because
he carried his power and his chin like granite. So
they just stand there
I think super granite
and take punches.
So and where he's quicker, and then he can get him backed up, and then he can take the punch and the thing and trade. I think for him, his kryptonite is the fast moving, a la Erislandy Lara, a la Mayweather, a la Crawford. Even a la Bivol, because really Bivol fights in that style. He's faster, higher punch output movement. He didn't really fight like the bigger guy. He fought like a smaller, fast guy. And I just don't think Canelo can keep up with that pace.
Not anymore.
I don't think it's super middleweight he's ever kept up with that pace. I don't think he's fought anybody. Who has he had? Probably Lara's the victory, but there's a bit of like people have that bit both ways, don't they? I think he did win, to be fair.
I mean, I think we said a long time ago in one of the first shows we did about Canelo, and I said I was worried he was on the slide, and I've been worried he'd been on the slide for a couple of years.
Which I don't think matters against an ordinary level opponent because he's so far above the rest. I think when you're fighting somebody like this, it's different. Right, when he's stepped up to the real,
I think if you go into like
like
Canelo 8 years ago, I'd say he was in his prime. I know that people say it was when you're in your
well, I think people are going to contest because they're going to say like Crawford is 37, Canelo's 35. But you got to remember, Canelo started at 15.
Yeah, and
so in boxing years, he's actually older.
When
Crawford.
You look at when Canelo was
because
fighting,
Crawford was quite a late bloomer.
The likes of Cotto and people like that. That's when I'd say Canelo was in his prime.
Well, Canelo didn't have much of... He did do a bit of amateur, but because he was so good, nobody fought him. So he basically had to step up. And like from 15, he started, hasn't he? Into 15, I think he's had his first professional. So he's at 20 years. It's a long time. And Crawford's about 14, and even though he's older, he's 38.
That's what I mean.
I'd
say Crawford in boxing years is younger. 29, 30.
Yeah. And he looked it, to be fair.
So this is what I mean. And like I say, I just think Canelo looked...
Well, to be honest, I want to give the credit to Crawford.
I'm not going to take nothing away from Crawford. It was fantastic.
I don't think whatever version of Canelo turned up that he beats Crawford on that game. And I don't think I think that's the best version of Canelo since probably Plant. But I agree that I think he hasn't got the speed he had when he was younger, when he was fighting at the sort of weights down in the 147, 154. What did he fight? 152 for Mayweather and co, isn't it?
Yeah. But, two of the greatest boxers of the modern day era.
I love the fight. It was fantastic.
You've just seen. I wasn't like... I have seen it. It doesn't make my top 20 fights. It really doesn't.
Well, the thing is, if you go and fight, I think you could make a good argument that most of the undercard was better as a scrap because they were just ding ding. Boo, 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 boo. We're going to talk about Mbilli and Martinez in a bit, and then there was the other fight as well. I'm going to put the other one as well. The only one that wasn't was the Walsh and Vargas, the one before this, and I was a little bit worried then, and I thought because I was debating, do I stay up and watch or do not? And then all the fights had been good. And then that one came on and it was more like a boxing match. This was, I think, a boxing match, but they did get into it a few, like you said, 3 or 4 times where you thought, okay, he's actually trading with them and stuff. So, yeah, I enjoyed it because it was like, I think, if you just want to see an actual brawl and a fight, it was more like Beterbiev versus Bivol, where it's so high level and technique.
Yeah, it was so high level. And like
I think in this, Crawford was a little bit technically higher. I think Beterbiev and Bivol was really, really close in that. It's a high level like chess match rather than is basically like Crawford was playing 4D chess and Canelo was playing 3D chess. It's just the 4D was slightly better than the 3D. And I've seen detractors now like, oh, is he 4D? Who is this? Like, listen, Canelo is one of the best boxers of this age, you know, and Crawford's just better.
He was the better man on the night. And
Undisputed
Canelo will tell you, he was the better man on the night.
Canelo said it, I don't think. Because Canelo's always will have a rematch, and he got asked, one of the only things it was a bit of a stupid question from Max Kellerman, your favourite presenter. I don't know what he was asking.
Flipping idiot, mate.
Some of the questions, did you see the after questions were just
that's why I was just like, mate, and he talked about...
I was hoping he was going to say what the hell he was asking.
It was like, Canelo. So,
Canelo told him off in the press conference as well, didn't he? Yeah. Like he's worried about that he was going to get chinned.
I'm like...
knocked out.
Yeah, get rid of him. So it didn't really take much notice. But all I took from it was Canelo said he felt great. Yeah, of course he's feeling great. He's got just under 50 million in the bank. Boom, thank you very much.
You'd be fine with that, innit? 50 million, you'd be happy.
Asking him about the rematch.
Yeah, I don't think he takes it because I think he realises that
it's the only fight out there, for either of them.
Well, question, if you're Crawford now, do you just walk away? Because there's no point for him having any... does he try and now get where he gets paid 100 million plus and has a fight?
I think both retire. I think it's either you both retire or it's a rematch.
Well, I think when it calms down, they'll have a look. But like, I'm not sure what you can do different. And Crawford's just going to get better. I don't think Crawford's going to age. I agree with you. I think Canelo will age more in it. As good as Canelo is, I think...
The one thing Canelo does have... He has a lot of pride, doesn't he? When he chased the Bivol rematch.
To be honest, I think if they give him 150 million again, I think he'd do it now. Maybe tomorrow.
But I don't think, who else is there in the division? Who else can Canelo face?
I think they both retired out of it.
Yeah.
So Crawford may have one, but there's no fight that you get worked up for.
There's no one that Crawford can fight, and there's no one Canelo can fight. The only ones that they can fight again is each other.
You get the rankings anyway.
So... That's all.
Well, there's Mbilli we're going to talk about this. I don't think any of the other fighters are of the level at the moment.
They don't deserve it.
Where, that either of them would get
they don't deserve
worked
it.
up apart from fighting each other. Neither of them are at that level. I don't think
everything
Canelo's
now,
level forget anything
everything
else.
now, whoever they fight is the only one that Canelo could possibly face is Benavidez. But other than that, there's no one for either.
There was talk before
one.
of Hamza Shiraz. Because I don't see the point of Crawford fighting him, but Canelo against him might be a good fight.
Problem with Hamza Shiraz,
but I think it's too early for him.
Is it
for Shiraz?
It's one of them where it might be too early for them, but do either of them two want this young, big, strong, fast?
Well, if I was a Crawford, I wouldn't, because he's a proper super middleweight. Crawford's still the same size.
You're going to stay away.
Canelo's still the same size.
You're going to stay away from. I mean, Hamza Shiraz, he might chase that fight, but. The likes of Crawford and Canelo, they're going to be like, it's a bit too much hard work.
The only reason I say it is because I think it was one of the ones that was mooted before by His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh, with Canelo, and that's one of the fights mooted. But it may be now against Crawford, so...
I don't see it. I don't think there's a big enough... I think the only attraction...
It makes sense for Hamza Shiraz, because obviously it's a huge payday and a huge thing. I don't think it makes sense for Canelo or Crawford.
No, he's too young.
Yeah,
I mean,
he adds nothing to the resume.
I am not saying he beats them. But he's a extremely hard night's work for very little reward.
But they get no kudos. They get no legacy. They get nothing out of it. Yeah. Or you get a nice payday, but that's fine. And they don't need the money.
I saw Hamza Shiraz at Usyk Dubois. I didn't realise how big he was. He's tall as I am. Big lad. He's a big man.
Yeah, we've said when he was fighting at the lower weight, how the
hell he made them weights. Yeah, so I wouldn't be like I said, for me, for the pair of them, it's either retire or a rematch. That's all I see.
Let us know in the comments what you think.
Crawford definitely shouldn't move up.
Well, if you were Crawford or Canelo, would you get, other than fighting the other guy, would any of the others even excite you? And I get that both of them would only get excited if there's somebody, like even Canelo said, he goes, it's not about winning and losing, it's about facing the best. And he was like, I think they'd only ever get worked up for each other. There's nobody else in that division that...
No, they can't.
We wouldn't get excited. We look at it.
No, I mean, there's not enough
There's lots of fights in the division, don't get me wrong, between those guys, which we're going to speak about, but there's nobody steps up. They're a few levels above.
You're talking pound for pound list here.
Yeah. There's only them two on that
and
list.
In that weight division, there is only them two. Unless...
Yeah. The others can go, but they're either too young or they've been...
I'd straight away, he might move up to light heavyweight and take on Bivol. He's not going to.
No, he's not going to do that.
They're too big. Does he move back?
Does
he move back down? No, because we know what happens.
Yeah.
It's not good. So retire. I mean, for Crawford, is there any better way to go out?
Done. It's like Usyk. You completed boxing now.
There's no better way.
Stop.
Just off you go. Canelo doesn't need money.
Yeah, Canelo hasn't needed for a while.
Hasn't needed money for a long time. I think Canelo loves his golf too much now.
Well, I think his daughter's just been born a little while ago, so he's got 4 children.
I just don't.
And the golf is quite good, and he's got everything. Crawford, I don't think spends as much. He's invested all his money he's made. So even if he's made less, he's invested. I don't think he needs to do anything for the money.
They don't need
and
money.
I don't think he's motivated by it.
Unless Turkey Al-Sheikh comes up with something crazy.
Well, did you see the thing on before when Crawford was training? He's like, no retirement. You do your job, but then no retirement.
I mean,
I don't see what you do.
No.
You can't go up in weight because it's too... Bivol and Beterbiev are too big a step up. Even a Benavidez is too big a step up. The size difference is then going to be a thing.
The problem is they're a little bit... This is going to sound mad. They're a little bit too late. If this was maybe in 2 more years, then you would have the likes of Hamza Shiraz who'd have a bigger name.
Well, there's a few in it.
The
Mbillis, the Hamza Shirazes,
they would be bigger names, but they're just a bit...
Pachecos and co, but they don't have any name at the moment.
No.
Not big enough name. It's Iglesias, Pacheco, Mbilli.
And Billy doesn't stand a chance against either of them.
He's not technically... I mean, he's got a chin. Well, we're going to speak about their fight.
Yeah, we'll speak to that in a minute. But,
there's nobody technically on the level.
For me, Pervin can retire, and we can enjoy that we've had 2 of the greatest boxers, and we've been
lucky enough on this channel to cover a few fights. Well, it was the first, wasn't it? Crawford versus Spence, where I think we both had Crawford winning.
Canelo, I reckon I must have watched 40 of his fights live over the years.
He does have a hell of a resume.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I think it takes nothing away. I think
to all the old promoters and people who Crawford. To
all the doubters of Crawford.
He'd have made,
still someday
he would have made you millions, but you didn't believe in him just because you said he didn't have personality. You don't need to have a personality. As long as you're doing your job in the ring, the fans will come.
His personality is that performance. And I think you've got to give him, I think people underplayed when he beat Spence, which was an epic performance because both of them were in the top 4 or 5. They were both in the top 10 pound for pound at the time. I think a lot of people had Spence above Crawford and he destroyed them. Yeah, there is the caveat. But I don't think his Spence was that bad. I think Crawford was that good. And he never
for me,
and there's even people slagging him off now about Canelo. I think it's just give the man his credit.
You're always going to get that because they're going to say, "Oh, Canelo is overkilled," and whatever. But for me, still the best Crawford performance for me was against Ricky Burns all them years ago.
Well, that's what he said himself, innit? He goes, "There's a few like against Gamboa, against him. A lot of his fights, he goes, but people just overlook him." And because the difference between him, I think they were closer, but like as he's got better, the difference between him and who he's fighting makes the other guy look so bad that the people rule him out. That's what happened to Spence.
I mean,
Spence is going to fight soon. We might see how good he is.
What you've got to remember is, especially for the American audience, and other people around the world, is most probably haven't heard of Ricky Burns. Ricky Burns from Scotland.
He was world champion.
He was a 3-weight world champion. Yeah. And Terence Crawford went in his backyard. And Ricky Burns was on a massive winning streak.
Yeah.
And it was a really close fight.
Yeah. He devastated Eddie Hearn. That was one of his star boys.
And Ricky Burns for me, it will, like I say, if we'll have a podcast one day of most underrated fighters, and Ricky Burns is in my top 5 because he was absolutely
for some,
fantastic.
Terence Crawford would probably be in there as well.
And I think
he's still underrated.
I think if you ask Terence Crawford about Ricky Burns, he'll always say one of the best fighters I've ever fought. Yeah. And that was when I really noticed Terence Crawford. But soon after that fight, I was expecting him to be a megastar. And again, this is where all the promotional issues and things come. He wasn't. Yes, he's a megastar now, but Terence Crawford should have been a megastar when he was 28, 29, 30. Yeah. People say, oh, yeah, but he wasn't.
No, he's a star, but I don't think he got to the megastar. He's not a Canelo level.
He wasn't box office.
And on his skill level, he should be.
He wasn't box office.
It's frozen, what the hell?
So, Crawford was around at the same time as Pacquiao, Mayweather, Canelo, and they were up here. Crawford
he tried to get fights with a lot
technically was up here, but
yeah, box office
fan-wise was way low. Enjoy it. Both of them retire. Go and play golf. Crawford likes fishing, so we can go fishing in Nebraska.
I think both of them have been fantastic. Canelo's been fantastic for the sport. He is the face.
Yeah,
boxing. Crawford just proved how good he is. This 3-weight undisputed, the first, the only in the 4-belt era. So yeah, I think all his doubters and all his things can quietly go in a corner and cry. He is the best. And pound for pound now, number 1. I think he's got to be, isn't it? Usyk number 2, and oh man, if our bloody Facebook feed starts working, number 3, I think now.
No, Usyk for me still number 1.
I think I've
Crawford number 2. Usyk for me is just number 1, just for.
Don't say that because Crawford will have to step up. Fight him.
Your pound for pound list is debatable, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The pair of them are just unbelievable. So yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, I think that's like debatable. I think, but on the basis of he was number 1 before, it's only because of inactivity. I think he is number 1. And well, him and Usyk are both number 1, I would say. And then you just got in a way just below, who maybe in a bit back on there as well, the 3 horsemen at the top. And then I think you get like Bivol and co. But we can do that for another video. Undercard fight, there was Walsh and Vargas, which was actually technically quite good, but a bit less of a brawl than most of the other fights on the undercard. Unanimous decision for Walsh. I think that's correct. The scorecards were a bit too wide for my liking because I think Fernando Vargas Jr. did really, really well. And I think he gave Walsh a fair bit of trouble that people didn't expect. I think Walsh got it back in the last few rounds and pulled away a little bit, but like they were like completely one-sided. I think it was 119, whatever. Yeah, 99, 91, 99, 91, 199. I don't think that's correct.
Wow.
It was a bit more...
I mean, I've only watched the highlights of that fight, but the highlights didn't justify them scores from...
No.
But
Vargas put up a fantastic performance. I mean, Walsh was good. Walsh should have won. Yeah, I agree. It's a unanimous, but like probably about like a 2-round swing would probably make it because he pulled away in the last 2 or 3. Before that, I would have said it's even. I would have probably said it's about, it was 10 round, wasn't it? So you could probably do 8 rounds. I could probably say it was even 4-4 and then give the 2 to Walsh-ish. So yeah, the scoring all night was a little bit, yeah. Even in this one, like I had it 9-3 for Crawford. I could see 8-4, but the 115, 113s I think are a bit too close for what it is, but the right results, so good for Canelo Crawford. Mbilli and Martinez, which we had on our thing. I think we both said Mbilli in 9th round KO for me and 4th round KO. Yeah, well, unfortunately, we didn't get a KO, but we got plenty of attempted shots at that level. It was a split decision draw. One gave it to Martinez, one gave it to Mbilli, and then it was 95, 95, 93, 97, and 96, 94. I don't see the 93, 97. I could see the 96, 94, and I could see 95, 95.
I think we've seen Mbilli weakness.
In that he only has one game plan, like a rhino charge forward.
Yeah, and I think, we've been massive fans of Mbilli. I was like, basically.
Well, do you think it was that Martinez was that robust and had some skill that showed him up, or
no,
Mbilli just doesn't have a plan B?
I just think Mbilli's been exposed. Mbilli's been this knockout machine, and look at the size of him. He looks like he's made.
His strength is ridiculous, and the chin as well. It's pretty damn good.
But
to be honest, I love this fight. But like, if I was looking at when you look at the skill level of Canelo and Crawford,
I was talking. Let's not forget
it was brilliant as a brawl.
Months back, me and you were talking that everyone should stay away from Mbilli. Yes, he is strong as an ox. Blah blah blah. But he walks in straight lines. One-dimensional, and
don't get me wrong, he's a tough fight.
It's a tough fight, but
if you've got proper skills, you can take
pick
care
him
of him
apart.
Yeah, fairly easily.
And this is going to be his downfall.
If you haven't, he will win that fight.
But he's still learning. He's had 20.
Well, I think this is the first one he's been properly challenged.
Yeah.
And the other guy had a Martinez, Lester Martinez.
And Martinez, I
way
apologize
better than I thought.
because
he was fantastic.
I'd written you off. I just thought you were cannon fodder. But yeah, Mbilli,
he's gone way up in my opinion. Martinez. He stood toe to toe, went with him, and he was strong as well because Mbilli is like a rhino. Charge.
He looks like a heavyweight. The muscle on him
is ridiculous. And Martinez is no slouch, but like Martinez coped with it quite well. And when he actually started boxing, and like put him up because Mbilli just wants to fight there in the box.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. That's going to work with a lot of people.
I think they did it because they realised Martinez has got a punch as well from distance. So I think it was a tactic as well from the coaching side. But you've got to vary it a bit. You can't just do the same thing all the way through.
And Mbilli, you are nowhere near ready for the top guys of the division.
Oh, Canelo and thingy.
They tear him apart. Absolutely tear him apart.
I think if Shiraz has another one fight, him and Mbilli would be a good fight. And I think Shiraz would be favourite. But he needs to have one more. He needs to have one or two more fights. And I think he gives him a good.
I just think a boxer.
Well, Shiraz has got the thing. If he keeps him at range, he's got the long arms and he can box.
Yeah.
And he's got pop enough to make him respect it.
I think it
could be quite a lot of, because you'll have the reach and height advantage.
But I think there'll be a rematch between them two anyway.
Yeah. I'd love to watch it.
It's a draw, so there's going to be a rematch. As a fight,
it was fantastic. As boxing wasn't that... Martinez was okay, but it was a fight.
Have it over 12 rounds as well.
Yeah. But the engine on them both, the chin on both of them, because they got hit with some fantastic
bombs.
Shots. And both of them are big and powerful, like knockout machines. And I think a draw is a fair result.
Yeah, and
a rematch would be worth watching. Nakatani's there to watch.
Yeah, definitely go for the rematch. It's the only fight out there for them.
But yeah, I enjoyed that. It's
got to be a rematch. If you draw a fight, you've got to have a rematch. So
yeah. And it'll be interesting to see how they adapt, what they change.
Yeah.
So watch that. Let us know your thoughts on that, on Mbilli and Martinez.
Yeah, and I do apologise to Martinez.
Yeah, he was good. And the Walsh and Vargas fight, let us know what you think of the scoring, because I think I'm of the opinion that was really, really wide. And it's not that. It was a closer fight than what that makes out. And Vargas did really well. Bohachuk and Adams, this fight was fantastic as well. Probably wrong result, because I think we were looking at Bohachuk, although we didn't give it on record. I didn't realise this was the guy who's beaten Bohachuk before, but Bohachuk was winning, and I think he's got caught with a punch and knocked out. Because we were trying to work out who's knocked him out, because obviously we've seen his fights against the recent boxers, and he's got a granite chin. This one he did have the granite chin, but like Adams, because Adams is quite old comparatively. Yeah, 36. And shorter with a reach disadvantage. But I think Adams turned back the clock and had one of those, moments and pulled off a shock here. And it was Again, I'm not sure the scorecards are that wide because it was like 99, 91, 98, 92, 98, 92. I don't think is a bit closer than that. But yeah, he could have stolen the rounds because he had the flashier output and a bit more boxing, which is a bit surprising because I would have thought Bohachuk was the better boxer and then he'd caught him in the first fight. That's what they had. So, yeah. Ditchko and Franklin. Yeah.
Didn't watch that one.
It's actually quite decent as well because they were throwing punches, but that wasn't as good as the other two that came after. It was a unanimous decision for Franklin. Probably about the right result. Nelson and Santana. Yeah, Santana just finished him. That was quite easy. Satsumi against Martinez. That was actually quite good because both of them went at it. Started with a bit of feeling, then went at it after about 30 seconds in the first round. It was like ding, ding, hello, hello, boom, 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 boom. And I got to give him credit. Martinez was game, but Satsumi is just, he does look like another one coming up the ranks. Just banged it out, and then he was the winner of the banging it out. In the first fight, I didn't see all of it, so I think that's probably about the result. So I think Ditchko and Franklin has been one of the ones that could be the other way, I think.
You say, I haven't watched that one, so can he comment?
Because he did have a bit of the better boxing, but Franklin had a bit more brawling, and I think that one could be where the scorecards a little bit iffy. But let us know in the comments. And it was a fantastic night of boxing, though. Commentators, not the, other than Andrew Ward, not the best. Some of the scoring was out there, but I enjoyed it. Stayed up and watched it. I'm knackered now, but it was worth watching. And I really enjoyed the main event and the build-up ones. And Mbilli and Martinez and Bohachuk and Adams was it's a good night of boxing. Long night of boxing, but good. And well done to Terence Bud Crawford. Fantastic. 3-time undisputed, 3 divisions. The only guy from lightweight to go up to super middleweight and win. Because I think the only undisputed super middleweight is Canelo, isn't it? I think definitely in the 4-belt era. I end up thinking. So Crawford's jump up and done it. So there's 2 now.
Joe Calzaghe battered the pair of them in the same night.
Maybe the case, but not now. He's too old, unfortunately.
And that's
maybe, well, I don't know these days. People are coming out any time and says, you think we could set that up? And fantastic for Canelo. Fantastic performance from him as well, I think, and gamesmanship at the end. I think it was really good for both of them. Any final thoughts?
Retire.
Yeah, I think it's retirement time for both. Walk off into sunset at the top of the games.
Let's let these young lads through now.
Yeah.
And fight for the belts.
There's a lot in that division. And we can see what they do. They're not as good as you two, but,
This is what's becoming a bit of a problem with these undisputed champions now is...
you need to get them out the way.
But you're holding up belts, you're holding up mandatories, and there's a lot of young lads who are working their asses off to get title shots.
Well, I think they need to get them in it and get the belts out, get 4 champions and get them to fight each other and get it to the main one, isn't it? And this is a stacked division.
And it goes for the likes of Usyk, Crawford, and them. If you have a mandatory, either take it or drop the belt so that they can fight for it. Get that done.
So subscribe, let us know what you think of our thoughts on this fight, what you thought of the fight, and what you think those fighters should do next. Which one do you think is the best fight? What do you think of Crawford's performance? What do you think of Canelo and all of the undercard as well, and Mbilli and Martinez? Which was your favourite fight of the night? And turn on notifications so you can find out when we drop videos and watch them as well. And thank you very much for watching and listening. We shall see you in the next one.